You are here today for the second webinar series that MMI is putting on. We will be covering all things to do with community building today, and I will be your guide through this presentation. My name is Emma McCosham. If we have connected on LinkedIn before, or perhaps I've just seen you on social media, hi, nice to see you. So let's get right into it. First of all, we're going to go through the agenda just so that we all know what's happening. We're all on the same page with regards to the webinar and what we're going to be covering today. We're going to talk about why you should build a community online, right? Why should you do this? The next part is we are going to do a deep dive into two brands that are community building superstars. And the brands might surprise you, so hang tight for that. The third part will be the details, everything you need to know about building your online community. And we also have some practical tips to share with you guys as well. So make sure you have your pen and paper ready to go. And we'll also have a Q&A portion. So if you have any questions, if you have anything that you would like answered, make sure you have those ready to go in the Q&A section for us. Now, like I said, my name is Emma McCosham, and I am the CEO and founder of MMI. We might have seen each other on LinkedIn before. If we have, hello, it's nice to see you again. I'm talking about community building today. So I want to give you guys a little bit of explanation of my street cred, for lack of better words, and why you should take my advice and work together to build your communities. So I have 8+ years of online community building experience. Essentially what that means is I've been in the marketing industry for 8 years now. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of brands, a lot of different clients, and help build their online communities and their social media presences as well. So in the last 6 months, have built a community on LinkedIn, and maybe that is where you've come from. And we have over 6,000 community members now, which is incredible. And I'm very excited and blown away, to be honest. So that's a little bit there. And through my time in my career, I have amassed over 10 million organic social media views with different projects, different clients that I've had the opportunity to work on. And I've also had the opportunity to work as a community building consultant with small business owners. So a lot of things, a couple years ago with COVID and having everything transition to more of an online presence, a lot of small business owners needed some guidance and some help bringing their businesses online, especially when it comes to social media. So I've had the opportunity to work on that as well. So now we're getting into the meat of the things, guys. So why should I build a community? If you are here, maybe you're asking that question, or maybe you have some clients that you're working with, or your boss asking you why you should build a community for your brand. It does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of effort, and it is not a quick win that you're going to see a massive ROI from in the beginning. So a lot of people ask the question, why should I even bother building a community? What is in it for me? So I've broken up this presentation to give you guys some tips for brands specifically, right? If you're working on the brand side of things, but also for personal brands, as I know that a few of you guys work in-house for brands, so you're looking for that kind of community building tips. But then a lot of you guys also are working on your personal brands on LinkedIn and other social media platforms as well. So for brands specifically, one of the benefits of building a community online is that you get to be up close and personal with your target audience. And that is invaluable. You get to do social listening. You get to spend time having conversations with your audience. You get to understand what makes them tick, what makes them purchase, what's going on in their lives, so you can build your brand experience in a way that connects with your target audience. And the only way you can do that is if you get in the trenches with them on social media by building a community. The second thing is building trust and brand loyalty effortlessly. So when you spend time building your community and you show up every single day as a brand, you are going to build that trust and that recognition with your audience automatically, right? You're spending the time to say, I'm showing up every single day, and that builds trust. When we see brands show up all the time, it just brings us back into their ecosystem, right? We're spending time with them, and that builds trust. And the third option, there are many, many, many things that are great for community building and brands, but I just wanted to highlight these three today. And the third one is leveling up your customer support. And a lot of people might not think about this when they think of communities for brands, but this is something that I've seen with my clients and people that I've worked with in the past building communities. When you have a community, you are able to connect with your audience, like I said in the first point, but they feel that they can come to you with questions. They can message you in the DMs. They can leave a comment on your content, and it adds another level of, hey, we're here to take care of you, and anything that you need, we are here and we will respond, right? So having that leveled up customer support really makes a difference, especially when competition in the online space is really, really, really tough. Okay. So that's a little bit for community building for brands. Now we're going to move into the personal use. Why should you build a community for personal brands? For you, right? So the first point I want to direct your attention to is building a network of opportunities. Okay, this I have heard so many people. I've had conversations with a lot of you guys on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has definitely opened up a lot of doors for you, for myself included, right? So, building a network of opportunities is invaluable for you not only now, but also for yourself in the future. So that can look like podcast invitations, job offers, getting connected with the people who are making hiring decisions. That's really valuable as well. And also having just the time to connect with people that will help you grow in your career as well. So, the second point that I'd like to direct your attention to is building your authority in your niche. If you have a personal brand, you are able to show up consistently online and build a community and show off your expertise, show off things that you're learning. You're able to utilize that space for you to later down the road say, hey, I have experience in this, and you can see it through my personal brand, right? Your personal brand does the talking for you when you aren't in the room. And that is incredibly important. Um, and the next point is connecting with people on a similar journey. So, when you are building a personal brand, anything really on social media, sometimes you start out really strong, you're consistent, you're, on fire for what you're going to do, and things maybe don't work out the way you want them to. Maybe things are a little slower in the beginning, and you start to lose that motivation. But when you have a community that you are building, you are able to connect with those people who are on a similar journey and motivate each other, right? So build each other up and have these people who are able to come alongside you and say, you've got this, you're doing awesome, keep going, everything like that. So that's a little bit on personal brands and also brands as well. So, like I said in the beginning with the agenda, I'm going to do a two deep dives into some brands that are doing an exceptionally great job at building communities online. And we're not going to talk about the typical brands that I see a lot of people talk about on LinkedIn and social media, right? So we're not going to talk about Wendy's, even though they're really funny. We're not going to talk about Duolingo, even though we all love Duolingo. And we're not going to talk about Ryanair, even though their TikToks are really funny, right? All of these brands are doing a great job. But I wanted to spend some time and focus on brands that have been around a little bit longer and also have transitioned during this time of social media becoming more prevalent in the space of business, and social media almost becoming an important part of any business plan, right? So, the first brand that I would like to talk to you today about is Lego. And I'm sure we all know Lego, right? We probably played with it in the past, or we had some sets, or maybe our siblings had some Lego, but everybody knows Lego. And they are doing an incredibly great job at building community spaces for their customers online. They bring the magic of their product into their online community so that people feel really connected to not only the brand, but to each other as well. So this looks like a place where Lego enthusiasts, they can chat, they can enter contests, they can connect on their love for the product, which is Lego. So I want to direct your attention to the screenshot here from their website. And this is a community building tactic that Lego has initiated. And I think it is A plus, gold star, 10 out of 10, a really good idea. So essentially what it is Lego users can build their own sets in their own spare time with their Lego pieces, take pictures of them and put them up on their community forum. Then community members can vote on which ones they think are the best. So you can kind of see that here with the screenshots. People can leave comments, they can support it, and you see how many days left they have to vote. The picture, so the product that gets the most likes, the creation that gets the most likes, sorry, Lego will turn that creation into an actual set that is sold in stores. So let's break this down a little bit, right? Why is this such a great idea for Lego to implement for their community? One, they're able to get market research for free. They're bringing in these people who are obsessed with Lego, who love Lego, they love their product, and they're giving them creative free reign to basically build their next product. And Lego is able to create these products now with less risk because they know that their community members are in support of these creations that their community members have built. Right. So that's genius. But you also get people innovating. You get people talking about your Lego, your brand. You also have people coming to the forum to check, oh, are there any more creations? Has anyone voted on mine? Right. And it inspires people to want to get involved in the community. So again, chef's kiss, guys. This is really impressive and something to take into consideration whether you are a brand, community building for a brand, or you're doing personal brand community building. Thinking about innovative ways to get your audience to get more engaged with you and to want to be part of your community. So that is Lego. The next one is Disney. Okay, everybody knows Disney. If you say, "Oh yeah, I watch Disney Channel movie or the Disney Channel or I watch Disney movies," right? Everybody knows who Disney is. And Disney is impressive. You know, there's some things that Disney, maybe are questionable, but we're just looking at community building right now, okay? So, Disney was founded nearly 100 years ago, and it has maintained an impressive community through those 100 years. That is not an easy thing to do. So, bravo for them. They've done a great job at maintaining that community, right? And Disney is not just a community, an online community or an offline community. It has become a lifestyle for people. They have, I don't know if you guys have seen at the Disney parks, you can actually buy a house that is on the Disney parks and they're Disney themed, right? And people buy these homes. We hear about Disney adults, we hear about the nostalgia of Disney and, little kids loving Disney, but it kind of transcends all ages. And it has become a lifestyle for a lot of people. So one of the things I want to draw your attention to specifically for Disney is something they're doing right now. So maybe if you've spent some time on TikTok, maybe you would have seen this. But if not, that's okay. I'm going to tell you about it. So the latest Disney community building tactic on TikTok is Genius. And if you can see the screenshot here, they're doing something called Disney 100. And right now, you can go onto TikTok and you can type in the search bar Disney 100. When you do that, you will get a little notification that you can click on, and it will bring you to a page that Disney has created, and they're different prompts for creators to do. And when you complete these prompts or these tasks, you are then rewarded a card, right? So that's what you can see on the screen here, like with Kim Possible. you are rewarded these cards, and there are rare cards. You collect these cards, and TikTok is going crazy with this right now because everybody wants to collect these cards. Everybody wants to get the rare cards, and you can trade cards with your TikTok friends. And the tasks are genius in themselves because they're very simple, but they also get Disney's name out there even more, and it's taking over our feeds, right? So one of the tasks is post a video with a hashtag like Disney 100. If you do that, you get a card. If you post a video with a trending Disney song, right? So you could post a video with Let It Go, you get a card. So they are flooding people's feeds. They're getting the community talking to each other. They're trading these cards, and they're building something that entices people to come back to their community and to talk about them. So again, these are things that we can look at that are innovative, and they're taking the time to engage the community, right? So really impressive stuff, really cool stuff. If you want after the webinar, definitely check it out. I think it's kind of fun. Maybe you're a Disney fan, and maybe you'll collect cards. You'll have to let me know. Okay, so now we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about kind of specifically community versus followers, right? And one of the things I want to drive home in this presentation is followers do not equal community. We see a lot of accounts who have maybe hundreds of thousands of followers, but that doesn't mean that they have a community. So there is a difference between followers and a community. So one of the things that I think is easy to get hung up on, especially when we're in the process of creating communities and we're building, online presences for brands or for ourselves, is the numbers. We get really hung up in the numbers. And it's not to say that followers don't mean anything. They do, right? It's not just a vanity metric. You should be looking at how many people you're attracting into your community. But the numbers mean nothing if the community isn't there. So, for example, if you have a profile and you have 10 followers, but those 10 followers are die-hard super fans for you or for your brand. They show up every single time you post. They're engaged with your content. They're talking to you. They want to know what's next. They're showing up and supporting you. Those 10 followers are incredibly important, and they are more valuable than 100 followers who don't really care about you, who don't really know who you are. They just kind of followed you at one point, and then that's it. You're kind of done. They don't really check back on you. They haven't invested time into your community, right? So the numbers mean nothing if there's no community. So we want to focus on building a community, not just a number on a screen. So, guys, stay with me. This is going to get controversial, but it really shouldn't be controversial, because if you're maybe doing this, then maybe it's controversial, but it shouldn't be. Okay. So one of the things that I'm very, very passionate about, and MMI is very passionate about as well, is that buying followers, okay, is the ultimate sin of social media. The ultimate sin. Okay. So there's a couple of reasons why we shouldn't buy followers. When you first start in social media, maybe you think that it's a good idea. Maybe you think you can build your influence if you have a number that looks pretty, but this is a bad idea, a bad idea. Okay. So a couple of reasons. Number one is the social media platforms are getting really smart. Okay. So if you are purchasing followers that are bots or even like duplicate pages or whatever, the social media platforms will eventually catch on because your audience and your community is not authentic, right? It doesn't make sense. You're either growing too quickly, or people aren't engaging, but you still seem to be growing, and the social media platforms will figure it out. So what does that mean? That means that you put your account in jeopardy. You can get banned, you can get your account closed, right? This is also not building a following. This is not building a community. This is building a following, which in itself is just building your ego, but it's not actually helping you achieve your goals if all of those followers are bots. The second thing I want to bring your attention to is, if you are here today and you are looking to build your community, whether that's for yourself, for your personal brand, or for your brand, when you do things like buying followers. This is deceitful. This is showing up and saying essentially that you are, bigger than you are. And if you buy 10,000 followers in the beginning, and then you grow your community another 10,000 followers, so you have 20,000 followers in total. If your community finds out that you had purchased followers in the beginning, this breaks your trust. This breaks your authenticity. This breaks what you have worked so hard to build. So, guys, I'm so serious about this. Please, I know that building a community can take time. It's not a quick win. It can be frustrating when you're not growing as quickly, but please, please do not commit the ultimate sin of social media and buy followers, because you will regret it. You might not today, you might not tomorrow, but you will eventually. And we're here to keep it real. We're here to be authentic, keep social media real. And yeah, okay. So please don't buy followers. Thank you for listening to my rant, but hopefully that is insightful. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing is the responsibility of community. So if you are here and you are building a community online on LinkedIn or Instagram, whatever it is you're doing, you have a responsibility now for your community. So what does that mean? This means that you are leading the way. If you are building a community for your personal brand, you are obviously the figurehead of that community. You are the one posting the content. You are the one figuring out what to talk about. You are the one leading the way. So, a couple of things I want you guys to take into consideration. One is that you are responsible for engagement, right? When we are building a community, we take on the responsibility that we are going to create content that makes the community want to actually be part of the space that we are creating online. So it is our responsibility to do the customer and audience research, right? Understand who's part of your audience. Make sure that we're creating content that brings them joy, that educates them, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Make sure that we are taking the time to understand the bigger picture and not blame things like the algorithm or blame things like, oh, my content just isn't being picked up in the algorithm. Guys, it is our responsibility to make content that is engaging enough to bring in other community members. So I know sometimes that can be difficult, but it is our responsibility. Second thing, it is always about them and never about you. I know that when you start to build influence online and you start to build a community, it's pretty cool, right? You have people following you, you have people commenting on your stuff, and it can be really exciting. And I'm not here to diminish that excitement, right? It is a really cool thing to experience. However, we have to remember that when we build a community and we build it in the right way, it is never for us to build our ego. It is for us to build a space where people feel welcomed and they feel that they are invited to join and they actually want to be part of the community, right? So it is always about them, making a space that is great for your community and not necessarily about you. And finding your why is the last one. So I talked a little bit about this on the last presentation or the last webinar, sorry. So if you missed that one, you can check out our YouTube channel. We do have it recorded, also on our website as well under webinar sections if you want to watch that. But I will kind of briefly go through find your why. Basically, what this means is you are trying to find your North Star and you are trying to figure out why I'm building a community in the first place, right? This North Star, your why, will guide you in your conversations. It will guide you in your content creation. It will guide you in the platforms that you're on and the people that you are trying to attract. So find your why. Okay. Obviously, you guys are here because you want to learn how to build a community, right? You want to build a place online that people want to come and be a part of. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to have you come here and listen to all these other brands doing awesome things and not give you the tips to actually implement them for yourself. So I've got you covered. We're going to go through very briefly now a practical community building schedule. All right. So, when we are building a community, sometimes we feel like we have to be spending 24/7 on our social media platforms. That is not sustainable. That is not realistic for a lot of people. And that doesn't have to be the reality. We can build communities with very specific time spent and very targeted time, right? We're understanding what our mission is and we're getting in there and we're doing the things we need to do in order to achieve our goals. So, this is the community building schedule that I use to grow from 0 to 6K. Obviously, if you want to spend more time engaging with your audience and people in your niche, then 100% do that. But this here is specifically designed to show you that you can achieve really great things with a small amount of time consistently. So the first one, 10 minutes of your day, you're going to engage with top creators you admire, right? These are people who are larger than you, who are doing things that maybe you admire, you look up to, you really want them, you want to be like them, right? Engage with them, leave them meaningful comments on their content. 15 minutes a day, you're going to engage with creators around the same size as you. Okay, so you're going to spend some time looking around and finding your peers and supporting their content, right? Support each other, show up and actually leave meaningful comments on the content that you enjoy. 15 minutes a day, you're going to engage with new creators in your niche. So these are people who are just starting out. Show up, show them some love, show them some support, get in their DMs if you want to, and just welcome them to the community essentially. 15 minutes a day, you're going to respond to all the comments on your posts and DMs, right? As you grow, you may not be able to respond to every single DM and every single comment on your post, but do your best to get as many as you can done, but do it in a meaningful way as well. And then 5 minutes a day, you are going to find two to three new connections and send them a friendly DM. Say, hey, I saw your content. I really liked it, etc. Fill in the blanks. 1 hour a day, guys. That is it. That is all you need, right? To consistently build your community. And I really stand by this. It is very possible to build a community that is rooted in meaningful engagement if you consistently implement this. So, hopefully that is helpful. If you want to take a screenshot, feel free to do that here. But I also have this community building schedule on my LinkedIn. I posted it this week. So if you wanted to go there, you can also save and take a screenshot there as well. Okay, so now we're going to cover a recap. Then we've got some announcements, and then we have our Q&A, okay? So the recap, guys, for this presentation. 1, building a community is beneficial for brands and personal brands. It doesn't matter who you are or what you represent. Building a community will help you, especially in the long term, for your success. Number 2, followers don't equal community. Focus on what's important. Don't get caught up in the numbers. Remember to focus on the meaningful engagement that you are having with these community members of yours, and find innovative ways to actually get them talking and actually get them wanting to be involved in your community. Number 3, building a community takes time. We all have a responsibility to do it well. There are no shortcuts to community building. There are no shortcuts to social media growth, right? We have to get in the trenches, work, be consistent, be creative and innovative, and have fun doing it, because it is a bit of a long haul, right? But we're all in it together, and find the people that you connect with and that you can motivate each other in this journey as well.